New Dashcam footage now reveals that the first victims of the Bondi Beach shooting were an elderly Australian man and his wife who confronted the attackers head-on. In the moments before the massacre fully unfolded, they stepped forward in a desperate attempt to stop the massacre. The footage shows the gunman emerging from a vehicle purportedly bearing an Islamic State flag. Witnesses say the couple reacted without hesitation, trying to restrain the attackers as the first shots were fired at the Jewish Hanukkah gathering, sacrificing their lives in an act of quiet courage. Police say the elderly man managed to briefly disarm Sajid Akri. Moments later, both he and his wife were fatally shot. They are now believed to be the first victims of the massacre, sacrificing their lives in an attempt to save others nearby. Authorities say their actions were not isolated. At least 4 unarmed civilians repeatedly tried to stop the gunman. Police confirmed that on 2 separate occasions, Australians managed to wrestle a weapon from Sajid Akram during the chaos. One of those heroes is Ahmed Al Ahmed. He lunged from behind during the attack, wrapping his arms around a gunman and forcibly disarming him as bullets were fired across the beach. Ahmed Al Ahmed was shot twice during the struggle. One bullet lodged near his shoulder blade. Doctors say he suffered severe blood loss and may lose the use of his arm due to the extent of his injuries. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese visited Ahmed Al Ahmed in hospital on Tuesday morning. The Prime Minister described him as a humble man who was simply trying to get a cup of coffee. He called the actions the best of our country.
A great honour to meet Ahmed Al Ahmed. He is a true Australian hero. He's very humble. He went through his thought processes as he saw the atrocities unfold. He had gone to Bondi with friends and relatives. He was trying to get a cup of coffee. Simple as that, and found himself at a moment where people were being shot in front of him. He decided to take action, and his bravery is an inspiration for all Australians. He is a very humble man. Tomorrow he will undergo further surgery. His mother and father are here visiting him from Syria, and I was able to meet them as well. They're very proud parents. He, at a moment where we have seen evil perpetrated, he shines out as an example of the strength of humanity. We are a brave country. Ahmed Al Ahmed represents the best of our country. We will not allow this country to be divided. That is what the terrorists seek. We will unite, we will embrace each other, and we'll get through this.
Meanwhile, police have revealed new details about the attackers' movements. Investigators say both alleged gunmen traveled to the Philippines last month, just weeks before the Bondi Beach attack. Immigration records show the pair traveled to Manila and later to Davao on November 1st, before leaving the Philippines on November 28th. Police say the father traveled on an Indian passport, while the son held an Australian passport. The purpose of the trip remains under investigation as authorities probe possible extremist links.
There has been reports in the news about our 2 offenders travelling to the Philippines last month. I can confirm that they did travel to the Philippines. The reasons why they went to the Philippines and the purpose of that and where they went when they were there is under investigation at the moment. I also confirm that the vehicle, which is registered to the younger male, contained IEDs, but I also confirm that it contained 2 homemade ISIS flags. We continue to work through the motive of this tragedy, and we'll continue to do so, and I think it's really important that our investigators continue to be given time to do that.
Early indications point to a terrorist attack inspired by Islamic State, allegedly committed by a father and son. There is no evidence to suggest other individuals were involved in this attack. However, we caution that this could change given it is early in our investigation.
The New South Wales Premier defends police response to Sydney shooting at Bondi Beach on Sunday.
I'll reiterate, that is subject to the investigation at the moment. We base our policing response on the threat that exists at the time. A lot of work is done between ourselves and the Jewish community. Obviously, Bondi Beach is a large and public area. We regularly patrol that area as we did on that day.
The New South Wales Police acted with bravery and integrity. They didn't take a backward step. They engaged the gunman on the footbridge with handguns. The offenders had long-range rifles, and New South Wales police officers were responsible for killing one of them and shooting the other one, and as a result, saving many, many people's lives. Now, there are 2 officers in critical care in New South Wales hospitals at the moment. They weren't shot in the back as they were running away, they were shot in the front. I'm sorry to be graphic about it, but if there's any suggestion that New South Wales police didn't live up to their responsibilities to the people of this state, it should be rejected because it's not consistent with the facts. Any doubt that if we had our time again, of course we would do things differently. And part of our response with the Jewish community and the people of New South Wales through Operation Shelter, working closely with the CSG, who are responsible for security in the Jewish community, is to ensure that we can work with them in the future. I can't take back Sunday, nobody can. But what we can do is ensure that in the future we are putting security in place so that we rebuild trust with the Jewish community. One aspect of gun law reform that is absolutely essential in New South Wales, and it will be controversial, is for police to use criminal intelligence, not just a criminal record, in determining whether someone should keep a gun licence or even be granted a gun licence in this state. And what I'm trying to say is, if we can craft a law that the police commissioner can say, I've got concerns about this person, I don't want them having access to a gun, notwithstanding the fact that they don't have a criminal record, that's the kind of legislation that we want to see in New South Wales.
It appears that there is evidence that this was inspired by a terrorist organisation, by ISIS. Now, some of the evidence which is being procured, including the presence of Islamic State flags in the vehicle that has been seized, are a part of that. Radical perversion of Islam is absolutely a problem. It is something that has been identified globally as a problem as well. ISIS is created by an evil ideology that has been called out not just by the Australian government but globally as well.